Our highs are only in the low 40s.
All right, thank you, Chris. 53 and cloudy at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Asking better questions, getting better answers. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, before we get into what I had planned today, I need your help for something of immediate concern. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Oh, that sounded more urgent than necessary. I'm not dying. It's fine. Like I don't need like a lung donor. I don't need like a blood transfusion. Are you blood type B positive? I need your help. No, we're not doing that. For the first time in my life, I think, I had a successful same-day delivery at Target.
Which has been an adventure for you in the past, yes.
Well, I'll backfill that information in a minute, but the immediate concern is, am I supposed to tip this person who brought my metal spatula and pack of gum and other assorted Target items?
That you need to get it up to the price to actually qualify for the same day?
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to spend $35.
Yep.
So what I really needed was a metal spatula because we want to grill tonight. This is real life, people, okay?
That's right.
We can come on this radio station and talk about the major political stories of the day, but I just need to know, what am I supposed to tip on a Target same-day delivery? And do I even have to tip? Same-day delivery order. It was, let's see, here's my receipt, $30.81. $30.81. What should I tip? 651-461-9226.
Isn't the easy math $6?
Well, you're a 20% tipper for someone?
Just to keep the math easy, honestly.
I just don't know. I don't know. Are you supposed to tip? Do they get paid? I don't know anything about this because, generally speaking, I think it's dumb to have to order your groceries and your stuff and have it brought to your house. I like going to the store. I am an in-person shopper. I'm 127 years old. I like going to the store. I like walking around. As you know, I like talking to the...
I was going to let you say it, but...
But I don't know. Like, am I supposed to tip? Her name is Michelle. Michelle was very pleasant. She texted me to tell me that they were out of one of the items that I ordered.
Terrible. Come on, Target.
Yeah. Oh, once again, Target, in our next hour, we're going to talk about the uniforms. Now they're requiring a return to the uniforms. Maybe a return to getting Cadbury mini eggs on the shelves. You know what I'm saying? How about we work on that? Big Target. But Michelle was very pleasant. She told me that they were out, and she said, "There's not a real good substitution. We have M&Ms." Like, what? I said, "No." And she's like, "They're real popular. That's why they're sold out." I mean, just pleasant.
You know.
Right?
That's kind of over and above.
And then when she delivered it.
She's not just coming to you with a problem. She's also coming with a solution. You got to like that.
So she brought the bags to our apartment.
Yeah.
And then she texted. So then you get a picture, right? Just like
Sure.
an Amazon delivery or anything else. I realize that to some of you, you're like, Jason, like, you do understand that same-day grocery delivery has been available for, what, 8 years?
Something like that, yeah.
It's new to me. It's new to me. And so I get a picture of, I think the picture was her handing it to Alyssa. Yeah. Oh, that's very funny. The proof of delivery. So then I get a text. It says, I dropped it off with your lady friend. I don't know. The whole thing is like magic to me. Maybe this is going to be my new life. Like maybe I've turned over.
How long would you survive referring to Alyssa as your quote-unquote lady friend?
Oh, you better believe tonight I'm going to be calling her my lady friend. If you're watching on the live stream, by the way, I'm going to put up the photo of the delivery because I don't know why this strikes me as so funny, but the whole thing is sort of goofy, and I assume I'm supposed to tip, right? We're supposed to tip for everything. Like, here's the picture. It's one bag. Like, doesn't this seem wasteful? Like, I'm so ridiculous. I can summon Michelle to do my own shopping at Target. $30 worth of shopping, not even a significant amount of shopping. And she will get in her car and bring it to me. What is wrong with our economy? That this is like a reason. I should have to pay $100 for someone to do this, right?
Texters are chiming in.
Okay.
Nearly universally saying, yes, absolutely, you should tip.
Okay.
Lots of suggestions of between $5 and $6.
All right.
So 18 to 20%.
5 spot, says one texter. 952 says, hi, Jason. Yes, a decent person tips. $30 between 5 and 6. 715er says we do the Walmart delivery once a week. They say tip is included, but we usually give an extra $5. At Walmart, anyway, the people delivering always act surprised when they get given when they're given a tip. And in Target, in the app, I was given an opportunity to rate and tip. So I assume. I mean, these people have to be getting paid, right? Now, a texter points out the correct opposite view. How much did you tip the mailman from the Postal Service today for delivery? I mean, legally, I think they're not allowed to take, but there's all sorts of stuff
People
that
find
legally
ways.
I'm not allowed to do.
You know, people find their ways. Yeah, but I mean, you tip the pizza delivery person, right? That's just assumed. That's food delivery. That's much closer to what you were doing than Postal Service.
I never get food delivered. You know, I like it.
Because you got to go do the thing with the people in the place. I get it. But in theory, you're familiar with the theory of food delivery.
I'm familiar. I've heard of it.
Tip is just kind of automatically
It's expected. It's probably
in
even automatically added on a lot of this.
a lot of places. Sure.
If she texted me for a substitution, throw her $4, says someone. And then the other side is tip for a delivery. Of course not. Are you joking? Now, that's from 507 zip code, so that sort of explains that, you know, classic sort of.
You're just saying. I mean, you don't tip the UPS driver or the Amazon driver or any of that. Mm-hmm. Is that closer to Target than the food delivery person is?
I would think so. I don't know.
But
a lot of people are like, Jason, it's a service, tip $10.
No, not on a $30 purchase.
Well, to a certain degree, you're like, is it any more? Well, she's shopping it, so she has to get it.
Yeah.
And then she gets in the car and brings it over. Yeah. So I suppose if I did a $100 order, theoretically, she's doing more work.
Yeah.
But what if I just ordered like a $100 item? One item, she picked that up. Sort of the folly for tipping on the amount you pay, right?
But if it's a $100 item, you would want her to take better care of said item. Ergo, it would deserve a bigger tip.
Probably. The texters say, I don't know. People really know a lot about this. I don't know why I'm so tickled by the whole thing. I do think it goes down. What put it over the top was the photo.
Yeah, that really.
It's just the photo. Here's Alyssa.
Including your lady friend.
Wearing slippers and this pink. She looked very pretty today.
Absolutely.
Nice pink. It's probably not pink. It's like.
There's probably a different word for that.
What's that color?
Actually,
like
it looks more purple, like lilac to me than
it's
pink,
like mauve.
Sure.
I don't know. That's not right. That's like a purple. Texter says, so on YouTube, yeah, see, here we go. Like some people don't understand even what this is if you live far from the stores. So with Target and Walmart now, you can order online and pick it up at the store. If I order online, that's usually my move. If you also can have them sort of deliver it through Amazon or however they normally deliver it.
Do you have them, when you do it at the store, do you go in and get it or have them bring it out to your car?
Like, I have had them bring it out to the car,
that
and
move,
I don't care for that.
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people that do that, but that move feels so weird to me. I can't do it. I feel way too lazy. I feel lazy enough making them go around the store and get all the stuff and then having me come and pick it up. I'll do it, but I still feel lazy about that. But then to not even get out of the car to go get it, I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, I do drive-thrus, though. I mean,
True.
I guess it's really not
It's just like a
different.
drive-thru, but it does feel like something where you could get off your lazy butt.
Kind of does.
Lots of texts coming in. Do you tip? Fine, we'll just keep this going.
Why not?
This is what Dan Cook and I were talking about 5 minutes before we came on the air. Dan had a scenario where he doesn't tip. And we'll lay that out for you as well when we come back. 651-461-9226. Just solving the important problems of the world. That's what we do here on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off at HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4-4 exclusions apply.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is your job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
I'm just going to give it a big fat so what?
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Yes, I could beat myself up today. Think of the reasons that I don't make it great. Yes, I could find
All right, we are talking about tipping. Want to remind you that today is Twins Ticket Tuesday, and if you win Twins tickets, if you win that 4-pack of tickets for April 3rd, the home opener, you do have the opportunity to give Dan and I a tip. So the home opener next Friday, April 3rd, Twins and U.S. Bank giving the first 10,000 fans an opening day beanie. If you arrive early, you can enjoy happy hour featuring $2 beer, hot dogs, snacks, live music before the first pitch. I'm going. Get your tickets now at twins.com. Dan, I'm going to be throwing out a first pitch one day this year.
Really?
I'm going to be raising the Twins territory flag.
Nice.
I'd have to
Is that
work
part of this
on it.
ambassador program?
It's part of this ambassador program.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Now,
kind of fun.
Are you going to throw out the first pitch from the mound?
No.
Or from in front of the mound?
In front of the mound.
Attaboy. That's smart.
If I do it. Last time
You just said you were going to do it. What do you mean?
Well, last time I got the chance to throw out the first pitch, I gave the ball to Sam and let him throw out the first pitch. I have some cousins, or I have some nephews.
Yeah.
I think it might be cool for a nephew to
That
throw
would
out
be
the
pretty
first
cool.
pitch. So
That'd be pretty cool.
what's tricky is I have 2 nephews. That's going to be an issue.
Who loves you more?
Fair question.
You know?
Does come down to that. Who loves...
Maybe if you tipped one of them.
Yeah, then, well, they should be tipping me, right? Texters. Lots of questions about tipping. Many pointing out you can tip your mails, your letter carrier. It's not supposed to be over $20 value, though. That's sort of the limit there. If you're a parent with young kids in the car, having someone bring the groceries to the car is so great.
Yeah, that's what I thought about
It's a
when I
good
said,
point.
you know,
Yeah.
it feels lazy, except I can imagine scenarios like that. Yeah.
How? Now, this texter says, when's the last time you got 2 toddlers or babies out of car seats to pick up more groceries inside the store?
Totally
So much
fair.
work.
100% fair.
Is it fair, Dan?
Yep, it is.
Somehow,
Yep.
I managed to raise 2 babies and get them out of the car seat and go in the store.
Regular occurrence for you, was it?
Yes, for Alyssa.
Okay, thank you.
We.
God, you're awful. Trying to claim credit for that. No, look, just because we've come
I
up
get it.
with
I get
something
it.
that's helpful like that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it because
Yes.
other people in the past didn't get to do it. I don't have any problem.
No, that's fine.
With parents, wanting to do that. I'm saying for me, single guy alone in my car, it feels really lazy to have that person walk the stuff out to me. But that's me.
I feel that way too.
Right.
But I also like going in the store. So it's fine if you like this. I'm just saying, like, for me today, to make somebody grocery shop and bring $30 worth of stuff to my house, I mean, doesn't that seem ridiculous? It feels a little ridiculous to me.
And yet you did it.
Well, like, we're grilling out tonight, and I had to do an interview at 2 o'clock. I didn't really have time to. I had to talk to Janel McCarville, which is coming up in a couple minutes. Phil is in Woodbury. Phil, $30. First of all, should I be ashamed of myself for making Michelle from Target come and bring $30 worth of items to my apartment?
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But as far as tipping people,
Yep.
if they're really good at their job, then I think you should give a little extra. I mean, they work hard too,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I was gonna say something about yesterday's show. If those ICE agents, I'd like to see them wear hockey skates.
It's an ice joke. It's just an ice joke. Thank you, Phil. Dan, you were confused for a second, but if you had a rim shot button, like, ready to go,
yeah,
we probably should for Phil, because he's going to bring a joke.
Well, that's just it. You never know where he's going.
And you want to give.
I didn't really even screen him. He just said, "Hey, Dan, it's Phil from Woodbury." I'm like, "Okay, I'm putting you on."
Yeah.
Because I don't know what he's going to say, but it'll be something that'll be moderately entertaining.
So when we were moderately entertaining.
I mean, I want to set the standard too high for him,
That's fair. All right. So when we were talking about this before, you brought up, and I think, by the way, I'm being talked into tipping. I'm going to tip. I like to tip a round number instead of like clicking the button that's like 15% or 20%. I'm going to tip $5.
Okay.
$5. That's like 18% on a $30 order.
Yeah, it's in that neighborhood, sure.
And here's $5.
Sure.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
When we were talking about this before,
Yeah.
you had a scenario where you asked me if I tip.
Well,
for-
because you made the comment, because there's that thing, we got a tip for everything now. There's that.
A lot of people complain about it.
People complaining about that. That's
I
in
get
the
it.
culture
Like
right now.
it's
And I
more
get
the computer ask that always
where
gets
where I get twitchy about it is at a counter service place, right? Like I got a pizza place in the Skyway that you're aware of that I stop at pretty much every Friday. And
Janelle's,
yep, in the
it's very good
Deluxe building, delicious New York style
underrated,
pizza,
fabulous
fantastic.
pizza.
They're not paying me, highly recommend it. Now they don't. They have the credit card deal, where you can just pay there, and it doesn't give you the auto. Would you
Okay.
like to tip? It doesn't do that. They do have a bucket, I think, out there, but they don't do it. Now there's another place over in what used to be the U.S. Bank building. I forget what it's called now. That does, when you do this, it's another pizza place. When you do the credit card thing, it does pop up the automatic. I mean, it's counter service, right? They're not delivering anything. They're not doing anything over and above what they would normally do anyway. They're not really bringing me anything other than from the oven over to the. I don't know. That just feels like. That feels like an overreach when it comes.
I would
to
say
tipping to me.
and that. So what I do is I pay a little something I call the local celebrity tax.
Thank you for saying local.
It's a small C, minor. The first time I said this, I called it the fame tax.
You did, yes.
And upon reflection.
And you immediately began laughing at yourself for even having uttered that phrase.
But it's like an insurance policy. Like at the counter, like I think generally speaking, I'm a pretty good tipper in a table service environment. But at the counter, to chip in 10% is a very small tax for me to pay to avoid someone saying, "Man, that DeRusha is one cheap SOB." So
I love it that's the consideration.
Am I tipping out of the goodness of my heart?
No.
Does anyone tip out of the goodness of their heart? I don't think so. Most people do not.
Well, most people maybe don't, but the people that do like here's $500.
That's cool.
That's out of goodness.
Oh, wouldn't it be great to be rich and be able to do
That would
that
be
every
awesome.
once in a while?
That would be awesome.
It's really cool. I do like when people do that. Texters say $5 is my minimum tip at a bar. If I'm taking up space and have just one beer for $8, it's still $5 because I took up a space. That's very nice. I think that's not necessary, but very nice. I think about the bar thing. The bar is one of the weirder places if you're tipping by percentage, because someone gets you a beer, and that beer costs $6. So you're going to give them $1.20. And if you order a glass of wine, which costs $10, you're going to give them $2. Was there a difference in somebody pouring the wine or pouring the beer? And then if you make a cocktail, what if you have a $15 cocktail? Now you're tipping $3. I don't know. I think on a beer or something you just pour, here's $1. Soda? Do you tip on a soda? I think you should if you're sitting at a bar. Here's $1. Yeah. Not a percentage. You're sort of a goof if it's like, I don't know, what does a soda even cost now? Probably $4.50. It's almost as much as a beer.
As someone who doesn't drink, when I am at bars with people and I'm just having a soda
or water, or soda.
Yeah, generally it's a soda.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I don't get charged at all.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just assume I'm a designated
see that a lot,
driver,
too.
but yeah, they generally.
That's nice, isn't it?
I'm not complaining.
I think it's nice.
And then I throw down a couple of bucks just as hey, thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
100%.
Texter says, how much is my time worth? I see delivery as a convenience for what it cost me to go get it. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, right? Where I view it as what should I be spending, $10 for DoorDash and then tipping on top of it when I could just go and get it. But that's a different way of looking at it. What is your time worth? My time is worth more than that.
Sure.
Also, I have a lot of time, Dan. The kids are gone. I'm running out of shows to stream.
Barb on YouTube says definitely an overreach at arenas and stadiums when they just hand you a hot dog and a beverage and then turn the screen around and expect you to tip. Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
I do not, but you know what? They've told me that is so interesting is that it is difficult to get staff.
Yeah.
And the fact that the tip is an option and some people take advantage, some people do tip, has been massive for these sort of seasonal jobs in attracting people to come in.
Well, and don't...
So that's made me a little less mad. Bob.
Sure. And there are... I don't know if this is just what used to be, or don't they staff these at times with like charitable organizations?
Yeah,
come out and then they
yes,
get a certain
yes,
percentage of
they
it.
get a percentage.
So, I mean, if you're tipping those folks, you know, that
It's
makes a
probably
certain
going
amount
to
of sense.
charity. Yeah, very good. All right, excellent. Oh, and if you bring your kids to the bar, which I used to bring my kids to the bar, you should tip double because some underage kid is taking an adult beverage seat at the bar. I did used to tip like that for the kids. Also, it's great to bring your kids to the bar. And looking at my college kids now, I think they learned a lot in those years. Oof. Drive time. Back with Janel McCarville, a great conversation with a Gopher legend who knows what it's like to win your last game at the barn and advance to the Sweet 16. Janel joins us next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Turn your tax refund into a new door with Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. For over 50 years, Mastercraft has been making great doors inside and out. From traditional to contemporary, Mastercraft offers styles to fit every home. Shop our in-stock selection or design your door your way, in-store or online. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. A crash on 494 eastbound at Cedar Avenue has things backed up starting at Penn due to an accident. Things are slow through the Spaghetti Junction. There's a car on the shoulder at 94 westbound right at Groveland. The police are on scene. Expect about a 6-minute delay there. Find premium protein options for Mexican-style meals at Whole Foods Market. Get 20% off 8 to 12 count responsibly farmed colossal easy peel white shrimp. with Prime through March 24th while supplies last. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. That's a look at the roads. I'm Derek Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan bringing us the latest forecast from our buddy Chris Schaefer.
A very mild night tonight, only falling back to 40. Just for perspective, the average overnight low is 29 this time of year. Partly cloudy with a high of 68. That's going to feel great tomorrow. Rain showers are possible on Thursday as a cold front drops, and it's going to leave us quite cold on Friday. Highs in the low 40s. We do warm again this weekend.
Right now in downtown Woodbury, it's 53 degrees on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you.
A very mild.
When the Golden Gophers women's basketball team won their way into the Sweet 16 this weekend, it certainly made me think back to the last time that we saw this amazing moment at Williams Arena at the Barn, and Janel McCarville is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. What a trip down memory lane for you, I imagine, when you watched the incredible game on Sunday.
Absolutely. I was just overjoyed with pride of them overcoming the obstacle that hasn't happened since my senior year. So watching Amaya hit that shot just gave me chills. I mean, I loved it.
What a shot, by the way, right? The clock ticking down. They're in bad shape with the fourth quarter to come, and then the hometown girl launches that shot and falls to the ground. Just beautiful.
Hey, I mean, that's every kid's playground dream right there. You're out there. It's the last shot you're trying to make before you go home. You count it down to yourself. It's 3, 2, 1. You fall away. You hit that. You know, sometimes you don't hit it, and there's miraculously 3 more seconds on the clock, and you're able to shoot another one. But that is exactly what, athletes live for right there. And I'm so happy she got to experience that on the home court at the Barn.
And that is what made me think of you, because it was back in 2005. It was your final game at the Barn, and you got to have that moment where how many players, especially when you're in the tournament, get to have your last home court, even to be on your home court, let alone to close out your career with a win.
It's special. Not everybody gets to have that opportunity. And like you said, Minnesota was my home away from home, but this is Amaya's backyard, and there's so many people on the Gophers this year that are so close to home and being able to represent themselves in such a positive manner. Again, having 10,000 plus on your side cheering for you, it's a home court advantage that a lot of teams don't get to have, and it's like you said, for those kids to win that last game on home court. I'm so happy and so proud for the seniors, and I hope they understand what they did and accomplished this year as a team.
Lindsay Whalen, who I know you were texting with prior to that game on Sunday, she posted on X that this is why you stay home. And I know you work with young people coaching basketball in your hometown in Wisconsin. What sort of draw is that as we're in, the college basketball world is so different today with NIL, with money, with the transfer portal, all of this stuff. What does that mean, I guess, to be home?
I mean, that's tough because technically I crossed the border.
You crossed the border.
Home.
You're the worst. The Badgers hate you, I'm sure.
They don't like me is what you were trying to say. Yes. But there's a couple Wisconsin kids on this Gopher team.
That's right.
And again, the idea of staying home is believing in something greater than yourself. There's nothing wrong with going to a powerhouse when you're talented and that's what you want to do and the opportunity presents itself. But some people want to write their own stories, circle back to early 2000s with me and the the crew we had with Lindsay and Kim Bell and other, notable people from Minnesota that stayed home and created something special. So I'm thrilled for the girls, losing Lindsay as a coach, but all these players were still recruited by her. I mean, Waylon has contributed so much to the university as a player, a coach, and now as an alumni, still supporting them in seeing the growth and the progress that her recruits had. I mean, it's great. Staying home is exactly that, representing yourself, your community with pride.
Janel McCarville is with us talking about the Gophers, her time with that team. You went on to have an incredible professional career. Your jersey is hanging in the rafters at Williams Arena. What did those moments, what did those college moments mean to you?
I mean, it's everything. It helped shape my character. It helped me branch out from small kid out of Stevens Point, Custer, Wisconsin. And then it propelled me onto the great stage of being drafted, playing in the WNBA, traveling around the world. Never did I think basketball would give me so many opportunities, create so many friendships, and experience so much culture just because I like to put the orange ball in the orange cylinder. I think we get lost in the big picture. I hope these young ladies understand and absorb and live in the moment, because you don't always get these moments again. So I'm thankful for the opportunities Minnesota gave me, the friendships that I still have. It's awesome. I mean, it's a great time for women's basketball, and these girls are hopefully enjoying it to the fullest.
Did you enjoy it? Did you realize what was going on while you were in the middle of that?
Yes and no, and that's why I preach it now.
Yeah.
You always think it's going to be there, and it's not always there. There's not always success. Winning only cares about winning, and that's it. So if that's just you need to have more. You need to cherish moments. You need to make memories, friendships, and that transcends winning in the end. So yes, I wouldn't change anything. The memories of winning, losing, heartbreakers, game winners, it's all part of the journey. And again, to experience it is lucky, because not everybody can.
I have to say, it is amazing looking at the way that Lindsay Whalen, who, let's be honest, like the way anyone's end of their employment goes, it's never good. I don't think the end of her coaching tenure, I think a lot of us feel like she wasn't treated with the respect that she deserves for all she's given to the university. But you look at her and Pam Borton both celebrating this team's success. I don't know. It tells you a lot about the character of that crew that was getting it done in the early 2000s.
Absolutely. A lot of the times you don't get to pick how you end your career at a certain spot. As an athlete, as an employee, sometimes that choice is made for you.
Yes.
And that's hard. That's super hard.
Yeah.
But, in this moment with Waylon and Pam, I wrote both of them. And, when you go through rough times, and it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but that stuff, again, builds the connection between people. And even though those times are rough, good things come from it. I know Waylon might not have a great rapport with whichever admin that I'm not going to say, whatever,
Yep.
But she loves those players, and she is invested in that team, as am I, even though I've been away for 20 years now. It's still us. It's still we. I mean, we're not UConn where we say we bleed blue and, we have all this stacked history, but we're proud of what we created, and we want to see the next generation lay their legacy right next to ours.
Well, I do think it is, as you said, it's an amazing time in women's sports in general and women's basketball in particular. But when people say that, like, oh, I don't know that the town has been as electric as it was, I don't know. I remember I was pretty new in town. I had moved here in 2003, and seeing what was going on in the energy all around the University of Minnesota women's basketball team, it was electric in that arena and in this town. You guys, I do think, in many ways, paved the way for some of the fun we've had with the Lynx, and certainly you were a part of that. But a lot of that started in the 2000s, and now just today, I don't know if it's the media environment or just the timing is right, but now hopefully, this is ready to really take off and soar.
Well, long story short, people like winners, and before me and Waylon created what was created with others as well, at the U, it was just a regular basketball team, but we won and we competed and we made something kind of out of nothing that showed people, hey, hard work pays off. And then on top of it, we were approachable, we were likable, Waylon was local, others were local, I was semi-local, so again, we created that cohesion between us and the community, and we won. People like winners. So I think this fan base in Minneapolis and surrounding Minnesota as a whole couldn't wait to have another winning basketball team. And on the female side, for the Gophers as well, So the fact that it happened, everybody's been primed and waiting for it. It just decided to be this year. And again, I'm super stoked for the girls. They played their butts off. It's survive and advance at this point, So I mean, you got to win by one. You got to leave it all out there. You're getting your opponent's best game every single day, and that makes for great competition and great basketball to watch.
How do you get your mindset right when you have to go take on UCLA next?
You got to break it down one possession at a time. You can't look at it as a whole. You can't worry about the last two matchups between you and them. I mean, we're conference foes now, so this will be multiple times playing them. You just got to break it down possession by possession. You need to find a separator in there somewhere individually and collectively as a team, and you need to ramp it up that much more. Because again, like I said earlier, it's survive and go home. Survive or go home.
Right. Pretty special opportunity, special team. And it just brought a lot of memories back for me of your team and what you and Lindsay did with the Gophers. And it's fun to see it happening again, for sure. And you get the opportunity now, coaching young people, to try to inspire that next kid to go take that shot, whether it's at the college level or the lessons you learn in high school and youth sports that go on into the professional world too, right?
100%. I got two talented young kids that are going to play at the high D1 level. One of my players actually committed to Iowa, so she's already into the Big Ten. She graduates next year, so she'll be playing the Gophers. And again, I'm going to be around. So it's exciting to see the next generation take those steps towards their own success and their own new stories and chapters of their lives.
It's pretty great. It was terrific spending some time with you. Go Gophers. We're excited for this squad this weekend and really appreciate all you're doing for the Stevens Point girls in Wisconsin, your hometown, and all you continue to do for the youth. Thanks, Janel.
Absolutely. Go Gophs.
Janel McCarville with us here on CCO. Back with more Drive Time with DeRusha in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, let's talk about another winner, and that is you. If you're trying to sell your home, it's Jason here with an absolute no-brainer winner situation for you, thanks to my friend Chris Lindahl. The guaranteed cash offer has been making winners out of Minnesotans for a long time. It's a great way that Chris came up with, arms out. See him on the billboard. He's a Minnesotan. He's one of us. Cheers for the U. He's got a kiddo at the University of Minnesota. So what Lindahl has come up with is a guaranteed cash offer, which gets you quick results. You can be at closing in as quick as 2 days. Now, what is the advantage, the guaranteed cash offer, versus going on the open market? Well, Chris told me that more and more people are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer because they don't want to deal with the headaches. They want the big red check. They don't want to deal with the uncertainty of somebody maybe flaking out at the last minute or having to upgrade everything to be exactly the way somebody wants after an inspection. Just go with the guaranteed cash offer and get the big red check. Put those arms wide out. Do the Lindahl. Get your check. Why deal with the old way of doing things? What's the point? Find out if the guaranteed cash offer makes sense for you. There is a free smart seller guide right at the top of chrislindahl.com. Even if you're thinking in the next year that you might sell your house, get to chrislindahl.com today.
Get into your local running store Tuesday and Wednesday, March 24th and 25th, where everything is on sale. Well, almost everything. Save 12% on almost everything in the store. This includes most regular priced items, plus 25% on regular priced clothing and footwear. Also shop sporting goods, houseware, snacks, hardware, fishing, hunting, and much more. Bring the family to your local Runnings March 24th and 25th, where almost everything in the store is on sale. Go to Runnings.com for more information and to find a store near you. Runnings, now with 90 locations, your local home, farm, and outdoor store.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1102. That's 800-575-1102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, "Please, God, no."
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are slow and go on 394 coming in and out of downtown. Be prepared for some delays. On the east side, 35E northbound is all brake lights from 94 up to Highway 36. Still have those delays on 494 east starting over at 100. That goes all the way to Cedar Avenue. Crosstown west at 28th is a parking lot due to a wreck. Be prepared to add some time. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast time. Thank you, Gutman Law, Wills Trust, and Probate Law for your support. Tonight, we get down to 40. That's it. Tomorrow, it's almost hot. 68 degrees tomorrow. And then Thursday, it's 50. And then Friday, it's 40. What is happening this month? What's going on? 53 in Minneapolis on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
You are worth the price of admission every single day because I have no bleeping idea what you are capable of saying.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, how fun was Janel McCarville? What a great conversation. Texter says she sounds so enthusiastic. It's fun to hear from. I just love talking to her. I love the energy. The support of the U, I think, is really cool. And we'll be cheering for those Gopher women on UCLA is tough. They are the number one seed for a reason. But why not? You try to get in the game and then see what happens in those 4 quarters, right? The Continental Diamond time check is 3:57. Wait, I'll tell you when. Now, right now. Only if you're on AM. If you're on digital, there's a delay. If you're streaming. But if you go to Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park, there's never a delay. You don't have to worry about it. You just check one of their beautiful pre-owned watches, luxury, beautiful watch brands. Oh, the selection, best of the state. Go check them out in St. Louis Park or at continentaldiamond.com. So today is our first Twins Ticket Tuesday of the season.
Not now.
Not now. But today will be your chance to win opening day tickets. Pretty cool. Opening day, a tough ticket, always. This year, sort of a rare Friday night opening day. I feel like most of our home openers are afternoon affairs.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
Yeah.
And this is Friday. It's still a 3 o'clock.
Still a 3 o'clock start, yeah.
Happy hour, the new bit they're doing this year where you get the $2 beers. They're doing that for the opener, too. So, kind of cool. Lots of fun stuff. We'll be doing Twins Ticket Tuesday all season long. And you just have to be caller 3. Win? Not now. Not now. Top of the hour. What are we going to do next? I don't know. I got a bunch of topics hanging around. We'll see what we do after CBS.
If you have a vacant investment property and want to sell it, call the John Schuster Group with Coldwell Banker Realty. They can get you the most for your investment. I know. I've seen them in action. It's Vanita. John's marketing system helps him sell houses fast and for the most money possible. That's what you want. Craig just worked with the Good Neighbor agent, that's what we call him, John Schuster, to sell a home. Craig was building a new home and wanted someone to move in right when it was finished. John's marketing system helped Craig find a buyer on time. It took John, get this, 10 days to sell Craig's house for $15,000 over the asking price. This is a huge investment. You'll want to make money. And you start with, what is your home worth? Are you curious what your home's worth? Find out in seconds. Just go to johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps. This is News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Day 38 of the partial government shutdown, and the Department of Homeland Security says more than 450 TSA agents have quit. Sickouts are leading to incredibly long lines. This woman at Nashville International Airport thanks the unpaid workers.
We could be going nowhere and have no TSA at all. So the fact that they even show up, is amazing.
As a possible agreement to end the shutdown emerges from the Senate, CBS's Natalie Brand reports.
President Trump is signaling he's open to a possible deal to end the partial shutdown after meeting with Republican lawmakers Monday night.
We're going to take a good hard look at it. I want to support Republicans.
The potential agreement would involve funding most DHS agencies, including TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard, while withholding funds for ICE deportations.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has sworn in new DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin. The former Republican senator from Oklahoma saying afterwards,
I don't care what color your state is. I don't care if you're red or you're blue. At the end of the day, my job is to be Secretary of Homeland and to protect everybody the same.
We've learned more about the deadly collision at LaGuardia Airport involving an Air Canada jet and a fire truck. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy says a runway warning system failed to sound an alarm moments before the collision.
Truck 1, however, did not have a transponder.
And she said investigators don't know yet whether the two people in the fire truck heard the control tower's last-second warning to stop. And investigators want to know more about the role of controllers.
It is not clear who was conducting the duties of the ground controller. We have conflicting information.
But she warned against jumping to conclusions.
The U.S. claims progress on points of agreement with Iran, and according to President Trump,
They said, what are the top 10? I said, well, number 1, 2, and 3 is they can't have a nuclear weapon. And they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And we're talking about that. And I don't want to say in advance, but they've agreed they will never have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that.
French President Emmanuel Macron has called on Iran to engage in good faith in talks to end the war in the Middle East after a call with his Iranian counterpart. NASA says it will invest $20 billion to build a permanent moon base over the next 7 years. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman says robotic exploration will ramp up sharply with up to 30 lunar landings beginning in 2027.
The moon base will not appear overnight. We will invest approximately $20 billion over the next 7 years and build it through dozens of missions, working together with commercial and international partners towards a deliberate and achievable plan.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's cloudy and 54 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Fry. Hennepin County is joining the state of Minnesota in a lawsuit demanding the federal government release evidence related to 3 shootings in Minneapolis by federal immigration agents.
This comes after multiple requests from the Hennepin County Attorney's Office for evidence. It's a process that County Attorney Mary Moriarty says is unprecedented.
There has to be an investigation anytime a federal agent or a state agent takes the life of a person in our community. And ultimately, the decision may be it was lawful. You don't know, but that's why you do the investigation.
A federal judge will now determine if the agencies must comply with state evidence demands as the civil litigation moves forward. Outside City Hall, I'm Taylor Rivera. News Talk 830 WCCO.
The University of Minnesota this hour introducing Brett Larson as the new Gophers men's hockey coach.
Larson played prep hockey at Duluth-Denfeld before a 4-year career at UMD, followed by 12 years of professional hockey. He's been coaching since 1999, and he got the St. Cloud State job in 2018 when Bob Musko was hired away by the Gophers. Musko was fired earlier this month after 8 seasons at the U of M. St. Cloud State won 153 games under Larson. Al Schock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
A St. Cloud State University student is in custody after allegedly threatening to shoot other students while on campus. The 29-year-old was arrested yesterday afternoon on the SCSU campus and was in possession of a handgun and a replica gun. He's being held at the Stearns County Jail. Minneapolis City Council members today approving a bid of just over $18 million to construct the South Minneapolis Community Safety Center. Construction's expected to begin in May at 2633 Minnehaha Avenue. The Safety Center will include the 3rd Precinct Police Station and other community services and resources. Ward 12 Councilmember Orrin Chowdhury says residents have been wondering when it will open.
We have consistently given times, and that those have been consistently moved back. And that remains to be a concern for several community members and a point of frustration, but glad that this step is happening.
And the project manager told the council the project's expected to move quickly, but he did not give an opening date. The boys high school state basketball tournament underway today at Target Center in downtown Minneapolis. In Class 4A, Tartan beat Blaine to remain undefeated. Chaska beat Lakeville South. Apple Valley just beat Wayzata. Next up, it's Maple Grove and Alexandria. Tonight, a pair of 2A games. Goodhue faces Perham, and Jackson County Central faces Albany. It's 4:06. Traffic and weather next.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
94 headed east through the junction. Things are slow due to a crash between 3rd Avenue and 35W. Expect to add 6 minutes to your commute. Starting tonight, 494 eastbound will have a nighttime construction closure between West and East Bush Lake roads. That's in Bloomington. The roads will be reduced to 1 lane. That starts at 10 tonight until 5 a.m. tomorrow. Only moderate delays over on the Fish Lake interchange. No major hangups over there. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And the weather is brought to you by JTR Roofing. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A very mild night tonight as we only fall back to 40. The big jump in temps, that would be tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high up around 68. We do cool down on Thursday. There's a cold front coming through that triggers some rain showers. And by Friday, our highs are only in the low 40s.
All right, thank you, Chris. It's cloudy and 54 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
From Lake Street to Lake Superior, we are Minnesota. We are News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
This is fantastic because I wanted to talk to you guys about the return of the traditional homecoming king and homecoming queen. We've seen schools all over get rid of this for multiple reasons. One, they didn't want to traumatize the losers because it was always the popular kids who were getting elected homecoming king and queen. And I say this with affection because I was one of the losers in my high school. They also didn't want to have this traditional gender norm, right? So what if you're non-binary? What do you run for? What if you're trans? Or what if you're? I think there is nothing wrong with having an election where the popular people win. At a young age in high school, maybe it's time for people to face up to the reality that every high schooler knows. It is not traumatizing to not be elected homecoming king or queen. If a kid is traumatized by this, it's because you as a parent cannot parent. That's what I blame. You as a parent. This is not traumatizing. 651-461-9226. For insight, I bring in someone who, no surprise to anybody who's met Mark Fry, because he is a very handsome man. Mark Fry, you just revealed to me that you were the homecoming king.
Indeed. In 2008-2009 of Cal Community High School in Latimer, Iowa, a class of 22 kids, I was selected to be the homecoming king.
Were there other candidates? Was
there
an
were,
election?
yes. It was a tightly contested race. I think there's 120 kids in the school total, from freshman to senior, and everyone got to vote. And I don't know what the percentage points, the precincts, the map was not released of how everyone voted, but here I am.
Did the loser allege that it was rigged?
No, but I think there was controversy on the homecoming queen side of things. I'm not going to dive into names.
Imagine that.
They're not listening.
Imagine that. High school girls creating controversy over who was most popular. I can't imagine.
It was something.
I think this is fine.
Yeah.
I think this is fine. I think the elimination of this stuff is a major error by adults in thinking that we have to insulate kids from every form of disappointment that comes their way.
Well, also there's something too for the individuals who are chosen as something to have fun in the moment, but don't talk about it. When you're about to be 35 years old, like I am, I don't ever talk about being a homecoming
Right, you would
king.
never talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, was there pressure on you to be a homecoming king because your father was also a homecoming king?
No, but that would be a great movie, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right?
I'm sure. No, not really. I mean, it was still just a small town, and it like you said, I think there's a way to bring it back and make it sort of a teachable thing. But you do, like you said, when you talk about other students who may not identify in that way, that's the tough part of all of this. But.
That is. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to make Mark, as a fine independent newsman, have to weigh in on that side of things. That's where we go to you guys. It's 651-461-9226. I do not think we need to turn around every tradition out there and turn around society for people, for a very tiny percent. You have no right to be homecoming king or queen. You have a right to get a job. You have a right to have housing. You have a right to have an education. You do not have a right to have a lane to run in to be the homecoming king. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. And one school in Minnesota has brought back homecoming royalty. I mean, even looking at the headlines to me just seems ridiculous. After backlash, Barnum brings back homecoming royalty determined by students' biological sex. That is the headline in the Minnesota Star Tribune. Students changed the protocol in 2019 to be less of a popularity contest. Is there really something wrong with having a popularity contest? There is nothing wrong with having a popularity contest. Part of life is popularity contest. It's fine. We have to get over this idea that everybody has a right to be popular, everybody has a right to be elected, everybody has a right to run for this or play and that. You don't. And it is crazy to take these things away from 98% of the world because we're so worried about putting everybody in their kind of bubble wrap protection so nobody's feelings get hurt. There are other areas that we should be worried about people's feelings. This is absolute, over-the-top, ridiculous protection. Rebecca's in St. Paul at 651-461-9226. Thanks for calling and listening, Rebecca. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we have to change the criteria for selection and move to let's have a community service history, and let's display that. And then that would be those people would be chosen by the community.
Well, a lot of schools, I know at my kids' high school, they did have an award at the end of the school year that the students voted on. That was like the most involved, most generous, like the good boy award, if you will. The good, that sort of thing. Or good girl, or good, whatever. So,
right.
I think a lot of schools do that sort of thing. But do you need to take away the homecoming king, homecoming queen? To me, it seems like a fun thing. What's the big deal?
Oh, yeah. No, I just think it is a fun thing, but from kindergarten on up, kids know what reading group they're in.
Yeah.
And they feel bad. I mean, we don't even have to tell them that what reading group they're in and what that indicates. It's just human nature. And I think to remove that element of deprecation, although it may not be intentional, is to move the whole program out of most popular, most attractive, to most committed to community service.
I mean, isn't it always going to be categorized, though, than the kid who has to have a part-time job because they have to pay for their, support their family or help out around the house, or you got to babysit because mom has 2 jobs. That kid can't volunteer. I mean, life always has a way of compartmentalizing into, a different sort of, I'm in the top level, or I'm in the coolest group, or I'm the most attractive, or I'm the most religious, or I'm the most artistically talented. I mean, that is a natural thing. I don't know that we need to take all of this stuff out.
Right, but I think anybody's story, whether it's hardship and you're volunteering to take care of your family, that is community service. So identifying it as a candy striper is no longer the criteria for 2026. I mean, Yeah, we have to sort of move beyond those traditional definitions and find community and living.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, Rebecca. Thank you. I don't think we have to move beyond those traditional definitions. All of these extra things are good ways to look at it, good ways to also have a part of the conversation. But there's nothing inherently wrong about being popular. It's not. Why have we set this up to be such a terrible thing? Jeff is in Sauk Rapids. Jeff, you're on CCO.
Hi, Jason.
Hey.
Personally, I think it serves no useful purpose. It's just an event in vanity.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, but why can't we have that? Why does everything have to have a useful purpose? It's just a homecoming king and queen. It's just some harmless fun.
I think it's just dumb.
Yeah.
I really do.
Did you lose that election, Jeff? Is that?
No, hell no. Nobody even knew my name in school.
Thanks, Jeff. I mean, Jeff's not wrong. It is useless. Am I just standing up for uselessness? Perhaps so. Everything doesn't need to be so deep. It's just homecoming king. It's homecoming queen. I think Barnum is doing the right thing by bringing it back. There are a lot of schools that have gotten rid of it. Now they have a royalty court in some schools. Do you think that is better? So if you have a royalty court, maybe you don't pick a winner, but you have 8 people. I don't know. I'm sick of this, man. Like, everything has to be. You tell me what you think. I will tell you what I think about the royalty court, although I think you know. 651-461-9226. Drive time, back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Taste what pork can do. That is the name of the website. That is the name of a movement, really. It's Jason here for our Minnesota family pig farmers, 3,000 of them every corner of this state. And tastewhatporkcando.com is your homepage for recipe inspiration. Pork is so easy for a quick dinner. This, we're in the thick of it. It's spring break for a lot of schools. Otherwise, you're kind of in that final sprint to the end of the school year. You've got spring sports taking effect. And if you're like me, you spent some time in those cold, damp spring days sitting on the bleachers waiting for your kid to run for 26 seconds in a track and field event where you sat there for 3 hours. Not a ton of time to make dinner, so go to tastewhatporkcando.com. Pork is a great way to get tons of protein from real food. And doing it fast is sometimes we worry about, right? But if you go to tastewhatporkcando.com, you can filter recipes by cut of meat. I highly recommend incorporating ground pork into your tacos, into your burger-type patties. Lots of option with ground pork, even making like a lob salad. Oh, fantastic. Lots of options. Find them for you at tastewhatporkcando.com. Go to your grocery store and your butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off an HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 404 exclusions apply.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid.
Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off at HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4 exclusions apply.
Jason DeRusha.
I have never really been a fan of his, but the truth of the matter is the guy really does care. My opinion has completely changed about the guy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Me and Jenny grew up out in a small town.
Popular or not, you're welcome at the Minneapolis Club. I actually went to the Minneapolis Club last night. Went in with my friend Sonny, brand new member at the Minneapolis Club. We brought our friend Alex over there. Beautiful building. Great workout facility, but anybody, I'm excited for patio season, sitting out on that patio. And I'm going to go around and ask how many of the people at the Minneapolis Club were a homecoming king or queen. And more importantly, how many lost and how did they ever survive? How did they do it? You know what they did? The people who lost decided that they were going to take over and become the nannies of the world and make sure nobody has hurt feelings ever again.
Do you think it was the people who lost, or was it the people who were never even nominated? I get a feeling it's more the latter, that because you lost, and this it didn't harm you any, and you're feeling how you're feeling now.
Yeah,
it's the folks that maybe weren't even considered.
In consideration.
They're the ones that are driving this.
So what happened in Barnum, Minnesota, which, by the way, Bailey could not be reached for comment. Barnum, Minnesota, had changes to be more inclusive. And, look, most high school kids are much nicer than I was when I was in high school, or any of us probably were. The kids today are much more empathetic. But sometimes I think, like anything in society, when it goes too far, then it goes a little bit farther, and then there's a crazy counter-reaction. Like I'm watching this documentary on the manosphere right now on Netflix. Did you watch this?
I have not watched it, but I can only imagine.
It is not surprising to me that young men across this country are gravitating to these absolute, horrifying, obnoxious, misogynistic, horrible human beings because society made it a negative to identify yourself as just like a regular guy. And well-intentioned, I think. But so now people are finding comfort in sort of this nonsense of like women want to be told what to do and blah, blah, blah. It's awful. I do think that part of this, part of the movement that went too far was this idea that we cannot have a king and a queen because not everyone identifies as a boy or a girl. And I think in avoiding real issues where people who maybe have gender fluid identities were being discriminated against or were not getting treated appropriately by students or by teachers or by the educational system, well, we could fix this homecoming thing, and now we've got a court, and now anybody. Well, you end up solving no problems. You convince yourself you've done something, and you take away something that actually I do think losing teaches you lessons. Seeing I also think, and a texture points out, kids are better and smarter than we give them credit for. I've seen some pretty amazing kids who aren't the popular kid be on the homecoming court and be crowned in small schools and large. Let kids celebrate their peers.
Yeah.
And I saw this all through my kids' high school career, where kids would get honored, where you're like, oh, how cool. Like, this is not
It wasn't
a
just a straight
not an
popularity contest.
Right.
We spent a lot of time over the last 5-10 years, understandably, pointing at a toxic version of masculinity and saying, oh, no, wait a minute. This has been way too common and way too acceptable for way too long. It's actually horrible. It's actually harmful. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. What we've done a horrible job of is replacing that with something positive and uplifting for young men. And we're still struggling to figure that out. So to your point earlier about the manosphere, I think young men are looking for some form of certainty and confidence.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's coming from the wrong place. But in the absence of any other positive form of it, they're going to drift to somebody telling them, it's actually okay to be a young man. And we've done a terrible job as a society replacing that toxic version with something that's actually positive and uplifting. And yet so many young men are thriving anyway in spite of it. But we do have this obvious problem of this toxicity creeping back in the back door.
Texters saying most popular people I ever knew were a bunch of phonies anyway. Let me tell you something. Welcome to life, okay? Like, having soft skills and being popular, one of the things that impressed me most about my youngest, Sam, who went to Blois State, which the American Legion puts on this event every year, Blois State, and they do Girls State. And kids get nominated from their school, and their local American Legion sends them off. I was in Blois State in Illinois when I was a kid. I was elected to a statewide office, comptroller. I mean, it's sort of like being elected state auditor here in Minnesota. Kind of like you get to stand up at the photo once, but then you're like in an office in the basement. That's kind of, no offense to Julie Blaha, but that's sort of the bit, right? Sam came back talking about the kid who was elected governor. And Sam knew this kid because it was a kid from his school. And he said, he's like, I never really thought much about that guy. And watching him rally support was really instructive to me. And Sam was like, this kid totally deserved to be the governor. He deserved it more than I did because he was really great at coalescing a group of people to follow him. And I'm like, that's why we have these sorts of elections. That's why we have popularity contests. Like, there are kids out there who are learning from these opportunities. Also, some of it is just fun, and like, we don't need to ruin every bit of fun because we want to insulate kids from hurt feelings. And it's okay to have a king and a queen. It's also okay to still look for ways that we respect and honor people who have more gender fluid identities, even as adults, if you don't like it. Kids are exploring their world with different options than we had when we were kids. And you just love them. That's all. This is not that difficult. But to lift others up, you don't need to take everything away. That's my view. We're going to break in a minute. DeRusha Eats. Two topics I want to talk to you about. One is sports bars. Oh, my goodness. I think we've seen 6 of them open over the last year. 2 more announced just this week. And the second topic is the food hill that you will die on. Dan Cook brings up a very good example out of some news of a restaurant, a nostalgic restaurant that's coming back. We'll talk about all of that in just a minute here on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I was on the phone this morning with the team at ProTurf. It's Jason here. For your lawn care, your landscaping, your irrigation experts, because today I called ProTurf to set up my own service for this coming spring. I get 5 visits from the ProTurf team. They took my lawn from, okay, came out, and not only did they make it look green, make it weed-free, make it amazing, But what ProTurf does that's different from everybody else is they actually come to your yard, to your home, and give you an estimate. Most companies are just looking at a Google map, and they figure out the size of your yard, and they just send out whatever they send out. At ProTurf, proud Minnesota company celebrating more than 40 years in the Twin Cities, their experts will come to you and design a plan for you. Their website is professionalturf.com. That's where you go to get that lawn care inspiration. Lawn techs who've been around for more than 20 years doing the same route year after year. They've got scientifically proven products, liquid and granular. That gives you that weed control and prevention that will make a difference. And then maybe you want a fire pit. Maybe you want a retaining wall. Investing in your yard can give you a 100% return when you go to sell your home. I also have a note on my calendar to call them next month to set up a sprinkler system maintenance as well. Make the call. They're ready for you. 952-469-8680. 952-469-8680. Or hit them up at that website, professionalturf.com.
To all the fans who are regular users of the voice message feature on the Odyssey app,
If you're going to be critical on both ends.
we say you're welcome.
I am absolutely sick of paying more and more, outreaching inflation by far.
Now, to those of you who haven't tried it yet, we ask, what are you waiting for?
We should definitely be able to charge the ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good.
Clip the microphone right next to the Listen Live button and record your thoughts.
Hey, who is ever on the radio right now? What a buffoon.
Whatever you want.
Thought I would try out this voice messaging on Odyssey.
For News Talk 830, WCCO.
Every business starts with an idea. With Smart Business Buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Camping season is right around the corner, and Forest River RV by Camping World is clearing out hundreds of overstocked RVs with rock-bottom pricing for immediate delivery. To celebrate, Saturday, April 4th from 11 to 1, PT from 1029 The Wolf will be live at Forest River RV by Camping World. Stop by for your chance to win Morgan Wallen tickets. Plus, grab some mouth-watering Texas-style barbecue, catered by Dickie's of Egan. Forest River RV by Camping World, just off 35 North in Hugo.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1102. That's 800-575-1102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Currently, we have more yellow than green on the map throughout the metro, which means things are slowing. 35W north, a crash at Portland Avenue. Things start backing up around 36th Avenue. 694 headed east from 100 over to 35W is moving below the posted speeds. 494 headed east is backed up due to an accident at Portland Avenue. That backup starts at Highway 100. You're going to want to add about 8 minutes to the commute. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast. Let's go. It's going to be warm and then really cold. Here's Chris Shea.
A very mild night tonight, only falling back to 40. Just for perspective, the average overnight low is 29 this time of year. Partly cloudy with a high of 68. That's going to feel great tomorrow. Rain showers are possible on Thursday as a cold front drops, and it's going to leave us quite cold on Friday. Highs in the low 40s. We do warm again this weekend.
Pretty warm right now in St. Paul. It is 52 degrees here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
DeRusha Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Let's start with your food hill to die on. Today, news came out that Happy Joe's is coming back. Happy Joe's is a pizza place that has its roots. I don't know. It's for me, I always think of it as an Iowa chain. When I moved to the Quad Cities as a kid, just graduating college, my first job in Davenport, Iowa, Happy Joe's was a standard, a stalwart. And Happy Joe's here, I know we had a Happy Joe's in New Ulm. And when I think of Happy Joe's, I think of two things. I think of a train, like a little kind of train, like a Lionel train set that would run around, sort of like Broadway Pizza has a train running around the upper level. And I think about taco pizza. Taco pizza is probably their most famous food item. It is Happy Joe, his gift to the universe. And this morning when Dan read about Happy Joe's, you had one reaction, didn't you?
Yep.
And that reaction was?
Taco pizza is not pizza.
No.
Pizza is pizza. And the hill that I will die on is when you start messing around and making tacos into pizza or making buffalo chicken into pizza or making cheeseburgers into pizza. That's no longer pizza. If you enjoy that stuff, that's great. But don't call it pizza. It's not pizza. Call it flatbread, call it whatever else you want, but it's not pizza. Pizza's pizza. Taco pizza is not pizza. I will die on that hill.
651-461-9226. Now, Happy Joe's is opening this summer in Mendota Heights, and Neil Justin in the Star Tribune wrote about it. I like taco pizza. I don't know why you're gatekeeping the definition of pizza. Why can't you have a taco pizza? My favorite Happy Joe's
You
pizza.
can have a taco pizza, just don't call it pizza because it's not pizza.
Are there certain topics only toppings allowed on pizza?
Yeah, pizza toppings. It's not a taco.
How do you feel
have
about...
tacos be tacos, have pizza be pizza.
Okay.
You don't have pizza tacos, do you? Let pizza be pizza.
I feel like I've had pizza flavored all sorts of things. I'm not that interested in it, to be honest with you.
No.
I think pizza is available for your pizza needs. I had it was a Italian restaurant in Robbinsdale, Risata, that I went to this past weekend, just opened, and they had a pizza flavored like pasta dish. I know you're sort of adjacent there, pizza and pasta.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least you're in the neighborhood.
But like, do you need to make your marinara like a pepperoni pizza?
I don't know. If you want to gatekeep your pasta, I got no problem with that.
I suppose. Maybe this is my hill.
See?
My hill is
I
don't want pizza flavored everything.
I think I've thoroughly annoyed Chris Tubbs because he stuck his head in here.
He keeps looking
he keeps eyeballing me.
What do you think about my favorite Happy Joe's pizza, which is sauerkraut?
Nope.
And Canadian bacon.
No, you don't have to go past sauerkraut. Nope.
It's so good.
Nope.
It's so good.
You want to have your corned beef and sauerkraut, that's great. Do your thing, but don't call that pizza. It's not pizza.
Now, if you look at here's what I'm
very happy for Joe. He looks like a very happy man.
But this guy's name is Tom.
Sure.
Which it is strange that the CEO of Happy Joe's is named Tom.
Well, it can't always be Joe.
I mean, was the founder? The founder was perhaps, let's just go with that. The founder was Joe Whitty. Now, this dude who's in charge of Happy Joe's used to be in charge of Ponderosa and Bonanza back when a steakhouse was a steakhouse.
That's right.
When you'd walk in and there was like a counter and you'd order, if you were a DeRusha, you would order the ground steak. Is that what it was called? Oh, now I'm messing up what I used to order. But it was like a burger without a bun is basically what it was. It was the cheapest thing on the menu, but it was merely a vessel to get you to the salad bar.
Ah.
And the salad bar was marginally salad adjacent.
Is that like the salad you had down in Florida that had like a whole sandwich on top of it?
Yeah.
Kind of the reverse of that?
But you do the salad bar so you could go to the soft serve ice cream machine because as a kid, there is no greater joy than making your own bowl of soft serve ice cream. If I owned a restaurant, there would be a soft serve ice cream machine for kids. Kids would have soft serve ice cream.
Absolutely.
Text coming in.
Is that your hill to die on?
Guess,
There should be a soft serve machine?
651-461-9226. Texter's saying Dan needs a nap.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong about that.
Another texter's hill to die on, food hill to die on. Completely yellow, overripe bananas. Not to be eaten. They're too banana-y. I'll try them in bacon grease and they'll be delicious, or maybe make banana bread, but not to be eaten raw. Is banana the most controversial of the fruits?
Ooh, that's a good question. I do enjoy the irony of a banana being too banana-y, which would seem to be the point of a banana, I would think, logically speaking.
There's a very narrow window in which eating a raw banana is enjoyable because it can be too ripe, and it does have like an astringent flavor to it.
Ooh, that's a good word.
It's like it is sort of too banana-y. But then it can also be mushy, where you have that hint of like...
Right.
Yeah. My food hill to die. I eat everything. Like I don't know I don't know that I have one. I will say I do not want your barbecue sauce on my barbecue. I want to self-sauce. I believe barbecue sauce is a condiment, not an ingredient. And yes, I did say I want a self-sauce. I mean, it's that kind of statement, Dan, that brings up the fact that today is the second day in our pre-show conversation that there was a certain topic that I was interested in discussing on the show, and then it just never made the list.
Just never quite got there.
Huh.
How about that?
It's sort of self-sauce related. Dale online says banana is great. It's a fruit that is good at any time in ripeness. But Andrew says bananas need to have freckles before it will pass my lips. I don't know. All of
People are very particular about their bananas.
Yeah, I didn't know. My favorite pizza is sauerkraut and pickles.
Nope. Both disqualifying. Individually would be disqualifying. Put together, please. Not a pizza.
One more food topic that I want to bring up, and you're welcome to keep texting in your...
What is your food hill to die on?
Food hill to die on. I like it. I got to think about this a little more because I was struggling to come up with anything. But I'm sure
You're a man of the people and their food. You don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah. I don't like cottage cheese. I suppose that is I think cottage cheese is a truly disgusting food. That's a hill to die on.
Absolutely.
Cottage cheese, man. Like, it just reminds me of my mom being on Weight Watchers, having cottage cheese and peach and Melba toast.
Oh.
And just at a certain point, if you need to lose weight that badly, just, you know what? Forget it.
It's not worth it.
Just be fat. It doesn't matter.
Bring on the diabetes. I don't care. I'm not doing that.
Of course, this kind of talk is going to lead us great into our Livia spot.
Yeah, of course it
coming up in 2 minutes. Texter says they like to cut only ripe cheese.
But
now, is Is that a...
I'm fairly confident that's a joke.
I mean, maybe you don't like unripe cheese? Pizza quesadillas, says a texter.
Or quesadillas.
My hill to die on, I will not eat pasta at a non-Italian restaurant.
Ooh.
Don't tell me how good an Applebee's pasta dish is. No way, I won't eat it.
I like that.
That's a good, yep. I endorse that also.
Excellent hill.
I endorse that 100%.
We'll plant our flag there, too.
It's sort of like if you go to a steakhouse and you order, like they always have like a chicken dish on there.
Sort of like going to a seafood place and ordering a hamburger.
So it's questionable behavior.
We laugh because, was it how many years ago? 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
We were down in Fort Myers for spring training, and like our last night, we went out to dinner at a local seafood place. And
I knew it was coming.
And I ordered a burger, and it wasn't, you didn't say anything.
No.
Joe Schmidt from Channel 5 shows up at this restaurant, takes one look at me and goes, "You go to a seafood place and order a burger, huh?" In my defense, I had tried to order the fish and chips, and they were out. Now, how you could be a seafood place that was out of fish and chips is entirely beyond me. But they said they were out and couldn't do that, and then I pivoted to the burger.
Vietnamese egg rolls made with rice paper are better than Chinese egg rolls, says a texter.
That's throwing down a gauntlet.
I agree. The rice paper gives a thin crispiness that lets you enjoy the fillings a little more, whereas the Chinese egg roll can often taste like a mouthful of batter. That's a good take. That's a good take. Why don't we break? You can keep these coming. These are fun. I like knowing the hill you're going to die on.
Texter, I don't believe that introvert left the house. Fair.
First year, I did get Dan to go to dinner with me twice out of 6 nights.
Yeah.
That's good. That's enough.
But we've grown since then.
Yeah, this last time.
Yeah.
It's great. I don't mind it. You know what? This time, I thought Dan actually came out maybe one time too many.
Thank you. Wait a minute.
Back in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Livia Weight Control Centers is innovating. I lost 45 pounds thanks to the help of the team at Livia Weight Control Centers. And believe me, they're not going to endorse what I just said about cottage cheese. But they do have some sort of breaking news that I just got from Livia today that I can't wait to tell you guys about, because this is the season of spring. It's the season of new beginnings, of new growth. And at Livia, they want you to jumpstart your progress. They've got everything you need to succeed. It's different from just you get a prescription, you're off on your own. They've got award-winning nutrition programs. They have GLP-1 medical weight loss. They have it all with one-on-one support that's customized to your life. So if you say you start today, why not? You can feel the difference in just 2 weeks, which is right in time for summer. Maybe. It's in time for spring, for sure. For a limited time, this is the breaking news they just told me about today. If you join Livia right now, you're getting 2 free GLP-1 injections that'll kickstart your journey. That is awesome. 2 free injections. So let's go. If you've been on the fence, go learn more about GLP-1 injections. Start your journey with Livia today. You're going to love it. 855-GO-LIVIA. So many CCO listeners have taken that Livia journey, losing thousands and thousands of pounds. Visit Livia.com, Livea.com today.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
You're invited. Join Union Gospel Mission Twin Cities on Thursday, April 30th for Celebration of Hope. Hear moving stories and inspiration from Mission residents and alumni. Learn how the Mission continues to address the ever-changing homelessness crisis in the Twin Cities and how you can make a life-changing difference for those in need. Registration closes April 12th, so visit ugmtc.org to purchase tickets today.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
This traffic update is being brought to you by Lindus Construction. Find them at lindusconstruction.com. 394 is on the brakes from Highway 100, headed in and out of downtown. Both sides are slow and go. 694 headed west from Lexington, all the way over to Highway 100. That is crawling over there. Again, expect some delays. Protect your home before spring storms arrive. Choose GAF asphalt shingles and receive free installation labor this March. Go to lindusconstruction.com. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills, Trust, and Probate Law, gutmanlaw.com. Tonight, the low is 40. That's a warm night because it's going to be a warm day tomorrow. 68 is the high. Then rain on Thursday. 50 is the high. Breezy as well. Friday, we're only up to 40. So nature gives and then takes. Right now, it's pretty nice out there. 54 degrees in Minneapolis on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I got to sit through this schlock. And if I were a nice guy, I would say that it's dull and uninspired.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twins Ticket Tuesday in effect today, the first Twins Ticket Tuesday of the year. When you hear the sounder, caller 3 gets a 4-pack of tickets for the home opener. How about that? 4 tickets to next Friday, April 3rd against the Tampa Rays at 3:10. Let's go. Twins and U.S. Bank, by the way, giving the first 10,000 fans an opening day beanie. And arriving early, this is such a great idea. On Fridays and Saturdays, you get a happy hour featuring $2 beer, hot dog, snacks, live music before the first pitch. So get to twins.com and get your ticket. But we'll be given 4 away coming up. Food hill to die on. Texters say white chocolate is not chocolate.
I'm good with that.
It isn't. Technically, it's not. White chocolate, I don't even think, is made with cocoa.
There you go.
Exactly. So, very good. Sports bars are opening up everywhere. And today, I don't know, I was wondering about this yesterday when I saw the news that there was going to be a sports bar over by Bade-Makaska and that big fancy, used to be called the Calhoun Beach Club. Now it's the Beach Club. And it's replacing a restaurant called Chilango. Well, what I was wondering, because I like a sports bar. This weekend, I was looking for a spot to watch the Gophers game.
Sure.
I like watching games with other people. But the Business Journal, Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal, did a really interesting story today talking about the boom in sports bars. The new sports bar is going to be called Asher's Bar and Grill. And we just had the announcement of a place called Fathead Bill's on Washington in the North Loop-ish area, the General Sports Bar at 50th and France. You got Dexter's at 50th and France, a bar of their own in the Seward neighborhood, women's sports, always on the TVs there. And the article did a good job of explaining what this is all about, because I look at it and I understand, like, people want more accessible price points. But damn, when you go to some of these sports bars, you're still spending $10 on a drink, and you're I don't know, is it that much cheaper? I don't think so.
I'm not sure that it is, but
you're not paying to stream your game.
That's the thing.
And sports bar owners like the Rabbit Hole, which they were on this show when they opened in the North Loop, they said that people are still drinking at sports bars, where every other restaurant
other places,
concept, way less drinking, and that's where the profit is.
Yep.
I thought that was so interesting. Sports bar, I don't know. I mean, if you had a favorite watering hole, you get treated well, if the food is good enough, it's not fancy, you don't feel dumb. Sort of makes sense. Sort of makes sense. I like to be a little fancy when I go to my sports bar, but I like to save some money too, which is why I go to Continental Diamond. Your Continental Diamond time check is $457. Check out the best selection when it comes to pre-owned luxury timepieces at ContinentalDiamond.com.
Who doesn't want to sleep better? March is Better Sleep Month, and the answer to better sleep is found at MiniLeaf.com. Jordana Green here, and MiniLeaf has your answer to sleeping all night long, going to sleep faster, and waking up feeling more refreshed and rested. At MiniLeaf.com, you'll find the Sleep Night Gummies and the Sleep Night Gummies Plus. The Sleep Night Gummies have been discounted $5 on the website for March. The folks at MiniLeaf really want you to sleep better. Now, this is one of my favorite products, those Sleep Night Gummies. I give them out to friends or anybody who tells me that they're having trouble sleeping, because I know they really work. I use them when I feel like I might have a restless night, but they're also non-addictive, so I don't need them every night. Please try for yourself. You'll thank me. MiniLeaf.com, Minnesota's home of its best legal products and the home for better sleep. MiniLeaf.com. Tell them Jordana sent you.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
When it matters, this is where Minnesota turns. News Talk 830 WCCO.
KMND HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Streaming now via the iHeart and Apple Radio.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump is claiming great progress toward ending the war against Iran.
We've won this. This war has been won.
Speaking in the Oval Office, the president says there have been talks. But with whom?
The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people.
Iran has denied there have been any negotiations, but Trump says otherwise, adding, in his words, they gave us a present.
It was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is.
Was it nuclear related?
It was oil and gas related.
The president also claimed Iran has agreed it will never have a nuclear weapon. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration is sending more troops to the Middle East. CBS's Cammie McCormick with that.
The Pentagon is expected to send parts of the Army's 82nd Airborne Division to the region. A command element and some ground forces are expected to be part of the deployment. But it's unclear under what circumstances President Trump would authorize the use of U.S. ground troops in Iran.
Jury in New Mexico has found that Meta violated state consumer protection law and failed to disclose the risks of its platforms to children. State prosecutors had accused Meta of placing profits over safety in violation of the state's Unfair Practices Act. Meta owns Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Travelers' frustration is high as the number of TSA workers calling out sick grows due to the partial government shutdown ongoing since February 14th. At Houston Airport, where the line stretches 3 floors,
I wished every senator, every congressman could stand in this line.
On Capitol Hill, there's cautious optimism that a deal could be in the works, but President Trump says he's probably not going to like whatever they come up with in the Senate. The NTSB gives a timeline on the deadly collision between a jet and a fire truck at LaGuardia Airport. The NTSB's Doug Brazy says of the first warning given to the fire truck,
at 9 seconds, the tower instructed Truck 1 to stop. At 8 seconds, there was a sound consistent with the airplane's landing gear touching down on the runway.
Investigators plan to speak with the 2 controllers who were in the control box on Sunday night. The Minnesota Attorney General is suing the Trump administration for allegedly blocking evidence related to the shootings by federal officers of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and Julio Cesar Sosa Solis. CBS's Sarah Lynch.
What has happened here is that in all 3 of these very high-profile shootings, the Department of Justice has essentially blocked the state officials from being able to access evidence, from being able to sit in on interviews with witnesses.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute. Y'all came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Sunny and 54 degrees at 5:03. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Fry. A new lawsuit filed today accuses the Trump administration of withholding evidence related to the killings of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and the shooting of Julio Sosa Solis, all in Minneapolis. State investigators say they've been blocked from accessing crime scenes and physical evidence. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison says that both the Trump administration and state law enforcement should share the same goal of maintaining transparency with the public.
All we ask for is for the federal government's cooperation, which the people of Minnesota are entitled to and have been denied thus far, which is why we're seeking relief from the court.
He says the suppression of this information undermines Minnesota's sovereign right to investigate these cases. We're learning more about the new Gopher men's hockey coach.
Brett Larson grew up in Minnesota and understands the weight of the job.
When you see the Gophers play, you knew them. You're a little kid, they were men, and you might as well be watching the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, they were big time.
He recalled his first college game.
It was up in Duluth at the deck, and we got to play the Gophers that first game, and puck went in the zone. I was a defenseman, started coming around the wall, and I went down to pinch to keep it in, and this guy named Trent Klatt just absolutely rolled me right over, hammered me right down, got up, helmet turned, snot bubbles out of the neck, one of those you can't find your way back to the bench, and I realized I'm in big boy college hockey now.
Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Larson led the St. Cloud State University Huskies for 8 seasons. He replaces Bob Motzko, who the university mutually parted ways with last week.
Where'd we get Motzko from?
I think the same place.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Funny how that works, right? The Minneapolis City Council this afternoon approving a bid for the South Minneapolis Community Safety Center, which will house a 3rd police precinct. Councilmember Latricia Vitas says the current 3rd precinct's not good enough for Minneapolis PD.
They're dealing with a lot of issues in that building. We were adjacent to them, and I always thought I was sniffing black mold or something over there. So I can only imagine what's happening in the building with the 3rd precinct officers.
And the high school boys state basketball tournament getting underway today. Our own Ari Bergeron went out to Target Center to catch up with some of the fans and ask a few questions.
You know what the first year of the tournament was?
1950. If I had to guess, the 80s, 1982.
I'm gonna guess 1980. I'm gonna guess like 1914. Damn. Is it right?
Almost. 1913. What school has the most titles?
Minneapolis North.
I do not know.
Forest Lake.
Nope.
Edina.
Nope.
Hopkins.
Nope. De La Salle. Which school is in the tournament for the first time in 94 years?
I don't know. You're gonna have to help me out on that one.
Lakeville North.
Blaine? Mountain something.
Northfield. People may love the tournament, but they don't know their history. In downtown Minneapolis, Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's 5:06, traffic and weather next.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
If you're headed west on 94 through the downtown, expect about a 12-minute delay getting through the Spaghetti Junction. 35W headed south from 94 downtown to the crosstown is stop and go. Over on the west side, 494 southbound is moving at the posted speeds, all green over there. 694 eastbound, we have reports of animals in the roadway right at East River Road, so be on the lookout. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Pork chops, tenderloin, bacon. Oh, yeah, it's full of flavor and high in protein. Taste what Minnesota pork can do for you. 3,000 family farmers want you to get the grocery store, the butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And the weather is brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Taste what pork can do for you. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A very mild night tonight as we only fall back to 40. The big jump in temps, that would be tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high up around 68. We do cool down on Thursday. There's a cold front coming through that triggers some rain showers. And by Friday, our highs are only in the low 40s.
All right, thank you, Chris. 54 and sunny at News Talk 830 WCCO.
First for the alert, best for the conversation. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Baseball starting this week. Twins Ticket Tuesday back with us today. I don't know, optimism. It's spring.
Now shut up and drive now.
I love this time of year. I do. I hope you do as well. We've got our first Twins on the road opening day on the air here on CCO on Thursday. That does knock Dan and I off the air on Thursday. And then next Thursday, we're also knocked off the air. Because that's when the home open.
Friday. I know. I keep making that mistake, too, because the openers at home are usually always on a Thursday, but this year it's a Friday.
It is a Friday. You're absolutely right. Next Friday, we're knocked.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
We're also off next Monday, too.
Are you going to go? I'm going to go to the game on
To
Friday.
the home opener?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be here.
Oh, you have to.
Somebody has to monitor. So I'm probably going to be here.
Do you really have to be here? Doesn't just like the game
there's
is on and someone has to stand here?
Well, there's 162 games a year.
How this works.
Maybe one or two of them, there's a hiccup in the middle of the broadcast.
That's
and
true.
Somebody does need to be here. So,
for
the most part, they run themselves. But
you would think I would know.
No, I wouldn't think that.
You know, I spent most of my life trying to know how to operate everything at every job that I had. And when I got this job, I made a firm commitment.
You took one look at the board and went, nope, I'm out.
I'm going to be as dumb as possible. That's fine. Like, I have to focus on saying dumb things on the radio. I can't worry about.
They got to pay me for something, so.
Yeah, you know what? You're welcome. I made sure not to learn how to do this stuff because I care about your job.
I appreciate that. It's very kind of you.
Twins Ticket Tuesday is today, so when you hear the thing, the Win Twin, is it the same thing as always?
Yep, same Win Twin sounder.
Did we think about refreshing it?
I didn't.
Is that specific to our show, or is this some sort of station-issued?
It's basically a station-issued thing. Chad does put his own spin on his.
That's sort of like
It's a very Chad thing to do, yes.
Can't have the same thing as the rest of us.
No.
All right. one other note before we get into the DeRush Hour News headlines, and that is an effort that I would like to start on our show today called Thank a TSA Agent. The Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport is essentially business as usual, and it's because our TSA agents, for the second time this year, have shown up at sort of crazy high levels, not calling out sick because they have to take a second job because they're not getting their paycheck. They're just showing up to work. And without them, all the families trying to get out of town on spring break, all of the business people trying to fly, all of the people trying to fly somewhere for a family emergency, it certainly could have been chaos like we see all over the country. So I just want you, if you've flown through our airport during this government shutdown, during this partial government shutdown, I want you to thank a TSA agent. So if you want to record a voice message, you can send it to us using the Odyssey app. There's a microphone right next to where you listen live. But you can also send me a video. You know how to find me on social media. You can email it to jason@odyssey.com. You could record a voice memo or a video. We'll figure it out, and we're going to play those on the air. And we'll do that before we sign off today in our last segment around 5:45. Let's do the DeRush Hour News headline.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRush Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And we begin the DeRush Hour News headlines with the emotion of a military hero that I don't want to be forgotten. Our news cycle moves so quickly that maybe it's hard to believe that Master Sergeant Nicole Amore died on March 1st, 23 days ago. She was laid to rest at Fort Snelling with the honor that she deserves. She was killed in Kuwait. She was just 39 from White Bear Lake. And for the first time, her husband has given an interview to CBS News correspondent based right here in the Twin Cities, former Channel 4 reporter Jonah Kaplan.
And you had just heard that?
On the news. Yeah. And when that came across, I panicked. I freaked out. That was somewhere between 11 and 2. And at 2:39, I sent her a text. I said, I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried. We're getting reports of the sustainment unit. 3 casualties, 5 injured. I'm going to need to hear something from you today, my love.
Oh, just gutting conversation with Jonah and with Nicole Amore's husband, Joey. All he's said was on Facebook, and the full interview with Jonah Kaplan will be on CBS Mornings tomorrow. The preliminary investigation into the fire that killed Jesse Pierce has revealed no evidence of arson. One of the unfortunate things about the fact that we live in a social media era where people feel like they want to solve mysteries on their own, that they're just asking questions, is this sort of gross response after someone is killed in a tragedy that isn't easily explainable. That people start getting suspicious. Smells suspicious to me. Something doesn't add up. What's going on here? In the hours after, while friends and family are trying to make sense of the fact that this mother, her 3 children, have all been killed in a fire in White Bear Lake. The husband of Jesse Pierce has said he was out of town on a business trip when this happened. He was not in the house. White Bear Lake, and state investigators are working to figure out what had happened. And I've done many interviews with the fire marshal and with arson experts, and they say that usually in the early hours, you have a pretty good sense when you get in there and get a chance to look as to where maybe the origin of the fire was, if there was any sort of accelerant. And in this case, White Bear Lake, late last night, released some information where they want people to know that there was no evidence that the fire was started intentionally. The cause of the fire is still a mystery. And the other part of this that the fire department mentioned in their statement, which I think is really worth bringing up, and Dan brought this up on Monday, as much of a tragedy as this is, that 5:30 in the morning, flames are shooting from the house, and these 4 people all killed. It's a tragedy to friends. It's a tragedy to those who knew Jessie Pierce from her podcast or social media covering the NHL in the Wild. But bear in mind the first responders who were working to put out that fire and then go into that house to try to see if there was anybody still in there, and they find a dead 4, 6, and 8-year-old. My thoughts to those firefighters and EMS and maybe police officers, whoever ended up going in there, because that is the kind of thing that you never shake, New this year at the state capitol, weapons screening. And I have been wondering, all right, like, is this slowing things down? What's going on? How is the brand new security screening at the Minnesota State Capitol going?
Security check. Mister, open the bag. I said open the bag. Hey, let's go check this guy.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Very nice work. Channel 4 with a story that weapon screening has been going just fine. State Patrol saying 67,000 visitors have been screened by troopers and security officers. Just over the last month, this started February 17th. They turned away 28 prohibited items at checkpoints, and then 283 permit to carry holders had been verified by officials. Security officials have been refining the process, because when school tours arrive, for example, like that, that slows it down. Like, how do you, all of a sudden you got a bazillion kids showing up, but all that is still happening, and they're saying so far things are going pretty well. One more item. Dan sent me this morning asking the question, do you want a chance to fly on a World War II bomber? And my answer is, yeah, like that would be amazing. And in fact, you'll have a chance in St. Paul, according to a story by Catherine Kovalenko in the Twin Cities Pioneer Press at twincities.com. The B-29 DOC, one of the few Boeing B-29 Super Fortress bombers still in action today, as well as the B-25 Miss Mitchell, will be part of a B-29 DOC History Restored tour stop. So from July 16th to the 19th over at Holman Field, the airport in downtown St. Paul, you will have a chance to get out there and do it. Admission will cost $10 per person or $20 per family. And then I think it's an extra charge to take the ride of a lifetime. You can do that at b29doc.com. Pretty cool. Now, it's expensive. Like, to sit in the bombardier seat, which is like front and center, $1,500. But just to be on one in one of the gunner seats, for example, $600. I don't know. Especially like if you're a history buff or a World War II buff, what a cool experience in St. Paul. And as Andrew says, if you go to the restaurant at Holman Field, Holman's Table, you can have their mushroom toast Best appetizer ever. But a World War II bomber, man, that is. I got to have to. $600 is a pretty expensive seat, but undeniably cool. That's the DeRush Hour News headlines. In just a minute, the No Kings rally going on in downtown St. Paul. Another celebrity headliner announced for that. Bruce Springsteen will be performing. Is this thing good for Democrats who are trying to say, hey, we're not as lefty as you thought we were? We'll talk with Blois about that in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twin City Framers is the industry leader building the largest wood frame projects in town, and they have immediate openings for carpenters. Here's the deal. Large multifamily carpentry pays an average of $5 an hour more than single-family homes. This is your opportunity to work for the best of the business and make more money today. If you're a carpenter or know someone looking for better pay, better hours, great benefits, and on-the-job training, then look no further. Go online to TwinCityFramers.com and apply for an immediate position today. That's TwinCityFramers.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries, and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out, and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
It's okay to be skeptical and cynical about this. I think that's part of the deal, but it's also okay to have fun.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRush Hour News headlines. Going in depth with our friend Blois Olson. Drive time take on the No Kings protest going on in St. Paul this weekend. Blois, thanks for being with us.
Happy to be here.
So the lineup for this thing is, I mean, it feels more like a big time concert or a show.
Yeah.
Is this good for Democrats who are trying to run in Minnesota in trying to maybe be a little more moderate following the Jacob Fry roadmap, the Kali Hur roadmap, or does this sort of paint them more to the left?
Well, I mean, I think it is definitely the left wing of the DFL that is there, right? Bernie Sanders, Joan Baez, the Peggy Flanagan, Angie Craig not on the ticket, right? And so it is the left side of the DFL party. Now, that, interestingly enough, is the part of the party that was not energized until ICE came to town. And so that helps them. You know, we analyzed the turnout of different parts of the state in presidential and midterm elections. And in midterm elections, since 2018, Democrats have really held their energy in Hennepin and Ramsey County and to some degree the suburbs, like the western suburbs where, it used to be represented by a Republican. Now Kelly Morrison barely has an opponent in the 3rd congressional district. So Democrats have needed this energy boost because remember in October when Governor Walz announced he was going to run again, 50% of Democrats said he should not run again. So they've needed this energy. So I think they know that they're going to have other issues and other messages, but these are the kind of events that they can sign up volunteers. They can build the machine and the grassroots going into the election. Furthermore, Republicans don't have anything like it. And maybe if President Trump did a rally at the Capitol, you'd get as many people, but I think you'd get a much larger side of protests too. So I think it's in the near term, it's only March. Democrats are going to lean into this energy as much as they can.
When you look at, and Bruce Springsteen added to the bill where he's going to sing at this rally before his tour date on Tuesday at Target Center. I think your point is very interesting that the energy, the rallies, sort of the stuff that the Trump train has sort of attracted when he's run, all of that energy is on the Democratic side right now. Does that energy, does that sort of visible stuff, does it translate into votes?
Well, I think it's one signal.
Okay.
And I'm all about the signals and the noise. It's one signal. It's not the be-all, end-all of the campaign. One of the other signals we've seen is that in more rural areas like Pine County, Democrats had more turnout at their caucuses and their conventions. Now, conversely, there's a few Republican conventions that had more turnout this year too. And so it depends on where you are, who the organizers are that are out there. I think the other thing that you've heard Jacob Fry and Governor Walz talk about is this thing that came out of Metro Surge is that Minnesota is this beacon of democracy and hope and pushback against the authoritarian federal government. Well, I mean, you hear it, you got to feel it, you got to see it. We'll see just how big this rally is, but it's going to probably be 50, maybe 100,000 people. It's going to be huge.
It's big,
but,
yeah.
But here's the counter. This isn't counter, but this is what Minnesotans need to know, but maybe not, be too Minnesotan about, is that as I was traveling last week, I was at a restaurant and there was a moment where we told the owner that we were from Minnesota. She almost bought our meal. She literally was like, "You're from Minnesota? This isn't a southern state." She's like, "I should buy your meal." We're like, no, you don't have to. No, you guys are heroes up there. And so I think an event like this will only feed the idea that Minnesota is the epicenter of the pushback against Donald Trump.
It's interesting. It is very interesting. And you wonder, are these people who are already just voting this way anyway? They would have been a reliable Democratic voter, so it doesn't matter. My sense is there are some people who maybe sat out the last election that are pretty fired up. And there's a math problem that Republicans have in the state of Minnesota, and that is more people live in the urban areas by a lot.
Yes. No, that's what we track. I mean, so 300,000 votes advantage for Democrats just out of Hennepin County. They come out of Hennepin County with a 300,000 vote lead. Then they come out of Ramsey County with another 100,000 vote lead. And so Republicans need the whole state to make up the lead of just those two counties, suburbs, exurbs, the Iron Range, other parts of greater Minnesota. And that's where, since 2018, Republicans have been challenged. And remember, in 2016, Donald Trump came closer than any Republican to win the presidency out of Minnesota. And Republicans have not won the governorship since 2006. So 20 years. The math is really hard for Republicans, especially if Democrats have energy and there's an unpopular president.
It's very interesting. I wonder a little bit as we talk with Blois Olson, who you can read his commentary and the latest political news in the Morning Take newsletter. When you look at the energy on the Democratic side and the fact that the cities and even the suburbs, you wrote today in your newsletter about how in my home area of Maple Grove, State Senator Warren Limmer decided he wasn't going to run, he was going to retire. And no one on the Republican side has really stepped up to run, which is just remarkable in a time where I think Republicans felt like they had some good mojo running their way.
Yeah, we've watched this. We have a Fluence election tracker that's tracking every race. Democrats recruited candidates early. They recruited better candidates. You look at Limmer retiring, the Republicans don't have a candidate there. There's a hope that Kristen Robbins will drop out of the governor's race and run for that Senate seat, since she is from half of that district. But there's another suburban seat down Shakopee area where there's a Republican there now who's running for the Senate, and they can't find a House member. So Democrats have they've been more organized going into this, and they were really organized in Senate races where they wanted to make sure that Republicans battle. Because the game, Jason, that they play, that we watch, is if they have competitive races in a Democratic seat, then that's less resources Democrats can put into a Republican seat. And Democrats just have kind of loaded the board with more competition for Republicans. But it's only March. There's a lot of time. I was speaking to a group this morning. I said, remember last August when gun control was the top issue that people were talking about? We have since had fraud as the top issue. And now we have ICE as a top issue, and immigration as a top issue, and fraud back to a top issue. So like the rotating issue bar, we don't know what the top issue in July or August can be. If it's the economy and it's bad, that's bad for Republicans. If it's the economy and it's good, Democrats will be like, wait, what about ICE?
Right. Yeah, and that's a long time from now. Very interesting. Thanks, Blois. Blois Olson with us with a Drive Time Take. Appreciate it.
See ya.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Elon Musk is reportedly considering an early entry listing for SpaceX on the NASDAQ 100 index. Reuters reports that SpaceX is eligible for an early entry listing with the NASDAQ, which requires a company's market cap to rank among the top 40 companies already in the index. And SpaceX is currently valued at more than $1.5 trillion on the private market, easily meeting that guideline. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
J.H. & Sons would love to see you at their beautiful store at the Galleria in Edina. It's Jason. Here from my friends at J.H. & Sons. They make me look as good as one could make me look. You know, you got to work with what the good Lord brought to the table. But J.H. & Sons does their part when it comes to beautiful clothing, that is for sure. And if you are looking to really elevate your look and do something special, I think this is such a great gift idea, too. May I recommend the J.H. & Sons Custom Experience. They will build you a custom, tailored, bespoke suit. You can schedule your appointment to meet with the made-to-measure team at J.H. & Sons. Pick your perfect fabric, design it, personalize it, make it your own. Then you dial in the perfect fit. You can get this made-to-measure suit in as little as 2 weeks, which is a pretty remarkable process considering this is 3 steps to get it done. But they have years of experience. You got a wedding day, you have a special event, you have maybe a promotion that you want to celebrate. J.H. & Sons knows how to get it done for you. If you're just looking to look great for a night on the town, casual clothing, J.H. & Sons has you covered there, too. Visit their website to learn more about their custom suit program. You can do that at jhandsons.com. But more importantly, go to the store. Go say hi to Kevin and Bryce and Chuck and tell them you heard us talking about J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina on Drive Time.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down, so I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to mnestatelaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Up in Brooklyn Center, Highway 252 southbound between 66th and 694. More animals in the roadway. Be on the lookout for those. They're causing some delays. 694 eastbound at County Road 65 over in White Bear Lake. A 15-minute delay due to a crash. Also over in that area on 694 headed east, it's right between 47 and 61. There's a semi and truck collision that are slowing things down. Those are on the side of the road. That's a look at the roads. I'm Taryn Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by JTR Roofing. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
A very mild night tonight, only falling back to 40. Just for perspective, the average overnight low is 29 this time of year. Partly cloudy with a high of 68. That's going to feel great tomorrow. Rain showers are possible on Thursday as a cold front drops, and it's going to leave us quite cold on Friday. Highs in the low 40s. We do warm again this weekend.
St. Paul, sunny and 51 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
I look good. Yo, take my picture. I look super hot right now, girl. Take my picture. I'm too sexy in this shirt, boy.
The University of Minnesota fired both of their hockey coaches at the end of this season. They replaced one with an assistant coach, and they replaced the men's hockey coach, who was originally hired from St. Cloud State, with another coach who was working at St. Cloud State. Brett Larson will be the new coach of the men's hockey team, and Jess Myers covers hockey for the Pioneer Press. He joins us live on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Jess, I love the way that you stated this when you were promoting your appearance on this show. I don't want to steal your verbiage because it's so good.
They did 2 national searches for head coaches. One national search didn't make it out of Ritter Arena, and the other national search made it all the way to Stearns County. So it kind of a limited footprint as far as national searches go. But, yeah, I think they found 2 pretty good guys to lead their 2 programs after, kind of a surprising turn of events, parting ways with both of their coaches in a 24-hour period. And, Mark Coyle's been busy. Part of the problem is he hasn't been in the Twin Cities much. He's been traveling and been doing a lot of this by phone. But I think they got 2 pretty good ones.
So I think as a casual fan, when you see the fact that our last 2 men's hockey head coaches have come from St. Cloud, it makes you feel a little like, is this job not that good? Like, aren't there other universities that have been kind of up and coming since we've had Big Ten hockey, since we've had other hockey programs around the country rising to more prominence than the old WCHA kind of group that we used to have? What do you make of it?
It's interesting you ask that because 8 years ago at this time, we were having the same conversation. Bob Motzko was at St. Cloud State. He had done some great stuff. He had gotten them to their first Frozen Four. They were highly ranked in the country. They had won conference titles. He had a loaded team coming back 8 years ago. And then he decided to take the University of Minnesota job. And I remember a lot of people saying, why would you leave everything you had at St. Cloud, everything you'd built there, all the good stuff you had there, to come to the University of Minnesota? Now, one factor was I always joke that he had about 500,000 reasons to leave, because he got a nice size raise. But the other thing that Bob Motzko said at that time, and it really stuck with me, he said the University of Minnesota head coaching job is one of those things where you get one kick at that can if you're lucky in the course of a career, and you got to take a swipe at it. It's a job you just simply can't refuse if it's offered to you. And I think that might be Brett Larson's thinking. Now, I joked with Brett Larson because I've known him literally since he was playing in college at Minnesota Duluth. I've been telling everyone who would listen for the last 10 years that Brett Larson's going to be the next coach at Minnesota Duluth, and he went and messed that up. But I did get the maroon and gold part right, at least, okay? I got the color right, so I'll take half credit.
You got the Minnesota part. I mean, that part you got right for sure. Jess Myers is with us for the Pioneer Press. He did cover this news, which you can read at twincities.com. I think you can look at the Motzko era and say, Bob Motzko, good man, good coach. Where do you think it fell short? Because I don't get the idea that Brett Larson is going to bring like a totally radically different approach to things. Do you?
It's ironic you ask me that question because I'm in the press box in Tampa right now. And you asked me where it fell short. Obviously, the most notable place it fell short 3 years ago, about this time of year, the Gophers were loaded. They had probably one of the most talented teams they've ever had. They had a lead in the national championship game here in Tampa, and it slipped away from them, and they wound up finishing as runners-up. Just so close to the 6th ever national title, and Motzko would have become just the 3rd Gopher coach to win a national title following Herb Brooks and Don Lucia. And that one stung. That one really hurt because, they knew they were the better team. They had the game in their grasp. And that was maybe the biggest shortcoming in Motzko's 8 years is that he didn't win an NCAA title. Now, with all of that said, they were contenders for the Big Ten title every year. They won it 4 times. They hung 4 new banners in the building. And the biggest thing, I think, the biggest positive you can say about the Bob Motzko era was he brought some excitement back to the game, and that's not to diss Don Lucia in any way. He did some great stuff in that program, but crowds had dwindled. It was easy to go for hockey ticket, which you were not used to saying. part of it was, too, fans finally, begrudgingly, after a decade, accepted, you know what, we're in the Big Ten now. We're not playing North Dakota. We're not playing St. Cloud State. We're not playing, these regional rivals that we were used to. Our games are going to be against Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan State and all of that. Fans came to kind of accept that, but I think that's maybe the biggest thing Motzko did was bringing the crowds back and getting the alumni base back involved, and that's going to pay dividends in the long run.
Tell us what we need to know about Greg Boom May, the new head women's hockey coach.
Here's a great story, Jason. When I was in my 20s, I lived in Burnsville. I had first moved to the Twin Cities. I was coaching youth hockey in Burnsville. I was an assistant coach. And there was a kid named David May on our team, and you know how the little brothers, the kind of pesky little brothers, kind of run around the rink during games?
Yeah.
Greg Boom May was one of those little brothers that I got to know when he was about 10. This is a guy who has been phenomenally successful at every stop in his career. Hasn't coached at this level yet, but he coached Augsburg, first time he'd ever coached college hockey, and his first year he had Augsburg in the Frozen Four. He's coached at the high school level. He took Farmington to a state tournament. He coached some private school hockey. He has been one of those up-and-coming coaches that people have had their eye on for a long time. The only real surprise is the fact that he was an assistant with Brad Frost, and they didn't look that far. They kept somebody on the same staff to be the head coach. And, man, he's got a tough job ahead of him because you look at Wisconsin, you look at Ohio State on the women's side, those are 1A and 1B as far as the national powers, and they're in the same conference as the Gophers. So to get back to that level, he's got work to do.
Do we have to call him Boom? I mean, what is the appropriate naming here?
I think Boom is kind of fun, isn't it? There's a lot of Gregs out there. There's not many Booms
Are there a lot of?
Come on.
I guess there are a lot of Gregs. I don't know a single Boom. So you're right about that. Jess Myers with the Pioneer Press is with us. You are covering the Wild tonight on the road, right?
I am. I'm in Florida. I was hanging out by the pool. It was 80 degrees before I had to come to the rink. I tell you, that would be a challenge being a hockey writer here in Florida. Is you got to put long pants on and go and sit inside a hockey rink at some point every day.
Yeah, that would be the hard part, going inside. You posted on social media sort of the beautiful gesture that they did for Jesse Pierce there. Could you tell us what they did?
I got to the rink today, and we've been struggling. I'll just say it. Those of us in the media who worked alongside Jesse every day, and not only that, but, you'd go out and have a beer now and then. I remember I made an ill-advised bet on a high school game with Jesse, and I bought her a pizza once, and, I pay my debts, no question. So this has really been hard, wrapping our head around the fact that she's not there anymore, and just a horrific way in which we lost Jesse and her children. I got to the rink in Tampa today, and I noticed a seating chart. You always want to check where you're seating. And on the seating chart, they had put Jesse Pierce, NHL.com. They saved a seat for her. They put a nice bouquet of flowers there. They put a nameplate for her. And, this has really affected the entire NHL because this is, a family that we kind of become after a while. As John Hines said, the reporters and the coaches and the players, we see each other twice a day for about 9 months. And we are really kind of that family unit, and to have one of our family, gone so quickly and so horribly is really affected a lot of people. So classy move by the Lightning. I heard there's going to be a moment of silence before the game, and that really means a lot to a lot of us.
Well, I just, on a personal level, want to thank you for. Look, this has been so difficult, and you and I have so many friends, and I only knew Jessie a little bit. We've met a couple times. She's been on the show. But so many friends are in such pain over this that you stepping forward and doing a lot of the media interviews, the TV interviews and such over the weekend took that burden off of a lot of other people who were being asked. And it was a very generous thing for you to do, to step up and do that. So thank you.
Well, if I can say good words about a friend and just an all-around good person, it's an honor and literally the least I could do, because there's going to be a hole in a lot of our lives for a long time.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason. Always great to talk hockey.
Jess Myers with the Pioneer Press with us. A Wild in Tampa tonight to take on the Lightning. 5:50. Hey, it's Twins Ticket Tuesday. You might want to stick around. Drive time in a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Can't call yet. Tureen Dermatology, you can call them. Actually, I think that'd be a great idea. Because what's more important, free tickets or your skin health? Tureen Dermatology is there for you no matter your location, your schedule, because they save room on their books for you to get in. In some of their locations, you could probably get in this week. Alyssa reached out to Tureen Dermatology when she had a little mark on her face and was like, what's going on? I don't remember seeing that. She got in the next day. Dr. Mohiba Tureen came in, took a look. Her team took care of her, had it tested. Turned out it was nothing but peace of mind. Whoa. Can't put a price on it. TureenDermatology.com. That's where you can go to get access to all 10 of their offices. I'm a patient at Tureen Dermatology. I mentioned my wife, so are my in-laws, and so are so many CCO listeners who have experienced the difference, the way they take care of you, their beautiful location. I go to Roseville. They're in Eagan and Lakeville and all over the place, Hudson. So make that appointment. Don't put it off. Reach out at Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
We're gonna win, twins, we're gonna score.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
I do. If it's Barufka's 521 swivel glider chair.
The 521 swivel glider chair is Craftsman direct priced from $1927 or $81 a month for 24 months. So whether it's 6 a.m. or 11 at night, you'll fall in love with 521.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing. In Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly worth your time.
Who doesn't want to sleep better? March is Better Sleep Month, and the answer to better sleep is found at minileaf.com. Jordana Green here, and Minileaf has your answer to sleeping all night long, going to sleep faster, and waking up feeling more refreshed and rested. At minileaf.com, you'll find the Sleep Night Gummies and the Sleep Night Gummies Plus. The Sleep Night Gummies have been discounted $5 on the website for March. The folks at Minileaf really want you to sleep better. Now, this is one of my favorite products, those Sleep Night Gummies. I give them out to friends or anybody who tells me that they're having trouble sleeping because I know they really work. I use them when I feel like I might have a restless night, but they're also non-addictive, so I don't need them every night. Please try for yourself. You'll thank me. Minileaf.com, Minnesota's home of its best legal products and the home for better sleep. Minileaf.com. Tell them Jordana sent you.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
494 on the south end is finally loosening up, almost back to the posted speed. 694 eastbound at County Road 65, that's Division Avenue in White Bear Lake. There's a 15-minute delay due to a crash. 169 headed south is stop and go just south of 494 due to an accident. That one is on the shoulder. Let's look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Thanks, Darren. CCO forecast from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer. Tonight, down to 40. Pretty balmy tonight. I'll be grilling outside. Why not? Tomorrow, 68 is the high. Wow. Beautiful day. Thursday, rain showers possible, breezy, high of 50, and then Friday, it's 40. You're not going to go straight to spring. That's not how it works here. Congrats to William for winning Twins Ticket Tuesday right now in downtown Minneapolis. It is 53.
Jason DeRusha.
You never know on this show, yes.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Continental Diamond time check is 5:56. I think I'm going to stop by Continental Diamond tomorrow in St. Louis Park. Take a picture, find out what they have in stock. You don't have to visit the St. Louis Park store if you're looking for a luxury timepiece. They have an awesome collection of beautiful watches, including like this IWC I'm wearing right now. Check it out at continentaldiamond.com. Thank a TSA agent. I would like to do this on the show every day. I would like you to send me a voice message or send me a video for a shout out to say thank you. Kristen told me that she asked a TSA agent why TSA is doing so well in Minnesota. And the agent said, we like working with each other, we show up for each other, and we're Midwesterners. It's pretty great. Sarah told me she's flown twice in the past month, and MSP has been great. Props to all the MSP TSA agents. We want to give them a shout out and a thank you on this show because these are our neighbors who are showing up. Their pay is delayed. They're not being paid now. Would you show up to work? Cook wouldn't. Taylor Rivera wouldn't. Henry Tubbsy, would you show up to work if you weren't getting paid? He barely shows up when he does get paid. We'll see you tomorrow.
The one real estate agent that really gets results, John Schuster of the John